Eat our snow, you...
They're not attached. Why aren't they attached? I thought they were attached.
I would never, in a million years, have done what I just did if I didn't think these were attached.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama. Welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation, and our Paws On Netflix segment.
And today we're covering the Netflix movie Klaus again!
I've been sneezing, so forgive me. This beautifully animated film shows the unlikely origins of Santa Claus, told in a brand new way. This sounds like David Spade.
Right.
It also is considered one of Netflix's best and only Christmas movies that's animated and became a modern classic. But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and keep us a future podcast and we'll pause videos.
Thank you so much for joining us today, subscribing, sharing videos, commenting, joining us during your busy holiday schedule. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Now, we originally covered this back in 2019 when Klaus originally premiered on Netflix.
Yes.
But guys, if you remember us back then, we were kind of new and fledglings.
Yes.
We didn't have any pictures. We have few pictures, little video. You just kept seeing on-air sign. So we thought we would give it the love and respect that it deserves.
Right.
And hopefully some of you who haven't watched it will be inspired to go ahead and give it a try, because it is going to be one of your new favorites once you do watch it.
Yes. And now the good news is that since then we've rewatched it every holiday season, almost every year. We skipped maybe 2 years because we didn't want to be run to the ground for us. But the good news is that when we did watch it recently, well, probably our 4th or 5th rewatch, it still has that value to it where it feels like you're watching for the first time all over again.
Absolutely. It still looks beautiful. It's entertaining. The message is still valid.
Yeah.
It's relevant. And it's definitely underappreciated.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Klaus, again, it's a 2019 animated Christmas adventure comedy film. And yes, it fits all the genres. It was co-written, co-produced, and directed by Sergio Pablos in his directorial debut. Produced by his company, the SPA Studios, and distributed by Netflix. It's traditionally animated. You got a great cast we'll get into later. And it serves as an alternate origin story of Santa Claus independent from the historical St. Nicholas of Myra.
Right.
Using a fictional 19th century setting. So no, it's not modern day.
Right.
And the plot revolves about a postman who sounds like David Spade, stationed on an island town to the far north, who befriends a reclusive toy maker. Just happens to be named Klaus.
Yes. And I think what you really like is that it kind of grabs your attention within 5 minutes.
Yes.
Because immediately you can tell it's different from not only the past holiday films and specials, which are great in their own right, but it's not trying to force itself to be a classic. Because we mentioned with the Christmas movies that they were making recently and then just stopped for a while, is that everyone wants to be a Charlie Brown Christmas and a Christmas Story and Elf, where they could watch it every single year and it's become pop culture, and everyone's trying to force in every single thing.
Right.
Klaus wants to be a classic, clearly, but it's not trying to force you to enjoy it or have all these big things going on to make it say, hey, this is going to be your new favorite, and constantly trying to do one big thing after the other. It's telling a simple story, a fun story, and it harkens back to a lot of the older films you actually used to watch that really took care of the story and the animation, made you care about the characters.
Definitely. Now, it was only released on Netflix with a $40 million budget, and you can see where the entire $40 million went.
Right.
It was released in Spain and the U.S., and it runs 97 minutes. The funny thing is you wish it was longer.
Yes.
When you finish, you really wish that this story was not over. It's that engaging, that fun, that beautiful to look at. And now that I know it was released in Spain, you can see the Spanish influence on the designs and the animation itself.
Yes, absolutely. And we even found out this is actually a hybrid animation style. Is actually technically a 2D movie. It's a traditionally animated 2D movie, but they put in 3D shading on the characters and make it look like they're an entirely different style, like a moving storybook. And this is one of those best examples of people applying that style to a movie and it can be done well. Disney, you need to take notes if you're going to do this again. And it stands out because you can see the characters are really fluidly animated and they have a particular design on them makes them stand out. So this is technically a 2D movie just with a 3D look, and it fits so well because no one looks uncanny or like it doesn't fit. You don't really see any animation errors or stuff you can laugh and say, how they missed that? We didn't find one animation error
Not
in
one.
here, which means they really took care of all the details.
Now, it's funny you mentioned Disney because Pablo's worked on Disney Renaissance films, including The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, one of your favorites, and Tarzan. And he also had the help of some fellow Disney animators, James Baxter, known for Beauty and the Beast, and Andrew Chesworth, who also worked on the same film.
So
Looked like some of their best animators said bye-bye.
yeah. And once again, you see what the people can make when Disney is not telling them no to everything and telling them what they need to write and what the company or studio or higher-ups want. Because Disney, if Disney cared, they could have had either this movie, still with them working with them, or something like this and something fun and memorable. Because you think about it and you're right, it is kind of like a Renaissance Disney film. It has that same energy and vibe, and it has that slight modern touch to it. It's not taking place in modern day, like you said, but you're reminded of those movies. And one of the biggest ones that we could tell was Emperor's New Groove, because Jesper, just all you could think of was Cusco.
The entire film.
Klaus reminds you of Pacha, and one of the villains reminds you of Yzma.
Yes. And you know they were inspired by that. If they say they weren't, I'm sorry.
Well, you went to Disney!
But we loved it. We
Right.
absolutely loved it because it wasn't a copy.
Right.
It was just, as you said, inspiration. So another thing that works for this film is you've got Spain, you've got the U.S., and you've got France involved. Proprietary tools from Les Films des Poissons Rouges, which is a French company in Angoulême, were used to allow the team to produce a variety of visual development series. They said they wanted to overcome the limitations of 2D. So they used their software to do that. And they said the aim was to get away from having the style of characters looking like stickers put on painted backgrounds.
Right.
And they
makes
succeeded.
sense. Yes, very much so. Because there are times you can tell the characters don't match the background or environment they're in, and they really succeeded with that. Because everything from this character design to background to atmosphere, everything looked fantastic. Again, no errors in this movie.
Right. And one more Disney connection and a dedication. The film was dedicated to the animator and scene checker Mary Lesher. And she died on June 2nd of 2019. And she'd worked on Klaus as well as both Disney Animations and Disney Toon Studios from 1989 to 2006.
Wow. Okay, didn't know that.
Right.
So, again, a lot of heart was put into this. And the sad part, besides her passing, is that you're not getting holiday movies like this anymore. This was like one of those once-in-a-lifetime type movies. And grateful that it exists and we could see it every single year. But it's just sad that you don't have more movies like this. We should have still been getting holiday films, whether from Disney or someone else, that are fun and new to try new things. But everyone now just makes either nothing, or they make Hallmark and Lifetime, and they stick with the rigid formula over and over
Or
again.
the same crap. Yeah.
Right, and that's why Klaus stands out so well. And like you said, there's lessons in there, there's humor, there's adventure, there's fun, and
There's beauty.
There's beauty, and simplicity, but not simple as in we didn't want to pay to draw this. And just so much love put into the movie. You can tell just by just watching it that it was a passion project.
I have to correct myself. Klaus was actually released in select theaters on November 8th and then released through Netflix November 15th.
Really?
I don't know if it didn't do well, which it probably didn't because you really didn't hear much about it.
Right, not until it hit Netflix.
Right, and you don't know at that time if people were really wanting something like this. They should have.
Yeah, right.
So the first original animated feature film, Klaus, was, well, let me try it this way. It was the first animated feature film to appear on Netflix.
Oh, well, then they had a great first start at this point.
Yes.
And the thing is also that the story, like I said, the story had a great message within it. And it wasn't the standard stuff you see. And they didn't connect to the nativity in this instance. And they didn't have the normal things of, oh, don't be greedy, don't be this, don't be that, blah, blah, blah. There was a message about how these two groups, these two families have fought literally since the dawn of time. Like, literally, watch the movie.
Like the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Yeah, and it's been their tradition for them to just bicker and fight and war at each other for millennia. And they weren't going to let a kind act disrupt that. Like, they kind of enjoyed doing this for so long. And the entire town was beginning to be changed by their actions of delivering the presents.
And Jasper originally showed up with a different agenda, but it changed for him the longer he stayed, the more he got involved with the people, the more he got involved with Klaus.
Yes.
His heart grew 2 sizes that day.
Right.
And his original agenda got tossed to the wayside.
Right.
And we don't want to spoil it all for you. He was supposed to, he was sent there because he was a wealthy, spoiled Nepo baby.
Yeah, basically.
And the dad wanted him to prove that he should be getting his money and doing what he wanted to do. And if he couldn't finish a certain task that was given to him by a certain date, he was going to be
cut off altogether.
So the whole reason he was there originally was because he needed to get this done for his dad. But again, things changed and he learned lots of lessons, as you said, like Emperor's New Groove. Klaus was Pacha. He taught him how to be better, not because he was giving him wise words and attempting to make him better, but just through him being the person he was.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of crotchety because, unfortunately, his wife had passed some time ago.
And he was so intimidating looking that Jesper thought he was like an axe murderer or something. He kept running away screaming from him. And he was materialized somewhere else like Batman.
So he meets a girl. Jasper meets a girl. He meets the children, as you say. He meets the 2 fighting families. He meets Klaus. And all these characters just weave this beautiful tale.
Yes.
And I know I keep using the word beautiful, but it is one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen.
Right.
Not just in terms of how it looks, and it is gorgeous to look at, but the story, the vibration is really chill. And that's odd for a holiday animated movie to have this chill vibe.
Yes.
Even when you get into the action and the crisis situations, you still are calm when you watch them, hoping for a positive outcome. But you don't get riled up and emotional and upset.
Right.
This movie was not created to get a reaction out of you.
Right.
It was created to give you, as you said, more to think about. And it was really created to bring joy. You can tell they really want people to be happy whenever they watch this movie.
Right.
And that's probably why they all left Disney. Oh. Because they wanted to be
they were gonna make this
joyful.
Yes, they were going to make this. Because after Klaus and Jesper deliver the child that wanted a little present, looks like a little wind-up frog toy. And they have a quote in here. They have one wise quote where it says, one kind act always inspires another one. And you see it play out. They don't repeat it like multiple times to get it through your head. It's said, I think, twice in the whole movie. And you see it in action after the gift is made and the kids from the 2 different families that start playing with each other. And as it goes on and they start writing more and more letters to Klaus, what's funny is that the adults end up getting dragged into it when they start telling Klaus all the different things they've done to prove they've been good and everything. And then the adults actually begrudgingly start being kind to each other. And one of our favorite scenes is that they took some berries off a tree for somebody and they got it for one of the neighbors. And you remember they always fight about everything. And then one day she just came over and made jam. Said, And then the next day, the other woman came over and returned it with some cake. And pretending we're still fighting.
It was wonderful.
This is cute.
Yes, absolutely. So we also want to mention about Rotten Tomatoes, who's still rotten. And they were rotten then. But they actually gave it an approval rating of 95%, which is high. One thing I don't care for Rotten Tomatoes, they act like Hank Hill. I'm not going to give you 100%. I'm going to give you 95 to give you something to still strive for. I don't like it. They don't like you. This movie deserved 100%.
Yes.
And IMDb, I guess you said I'm off topic. With
Whoops.
MHA, the entire final 8th season should have had hundreds all through. Okay, go back to this movie.
Right.
So they called it a beautifully hand-drawn animation and a humorous, heartwarming narrative. Makes Klaus an instant candidate for holiday classic status.
Yes.
Too bad that didn't happen. Metacritic even gave it only a 65 out of 100. It's about generally favorable.
Yeah, which
It's almost like, you know what it's almost
they're
like?
trying to
Because of Disney.
They're refusing.
Because these people all left Disney. And Disney probably was upset.
maybe
Just like with Don Bluth,
Yeah.
they decided to work against it so it didn't get the popularity and the classic status it deserved.
Yeah,
Now, if
which
you
is-
don't agree, guys, fine, but I'm telling you, we've seen Disney do this time and time again.
Yes.
And I think that's what happened.
Yeah, and it's really a shame because you hear people talk about it every year, and people want to know, did this studio make any more movies like Klaus? Did they make sequels or spin-offs? Did they anything related to this? And they've been waiting for years to see another project from this studio. And we saw some stuff still got canceled. So it's like they were trying to push down Klaus from being the classic, because it is, for a lot of people it is, but it should have been in a same vein as K-pop Hunters, where, well, not in the terms of merchandise and everything, but in terms of like, this is something people want to see.
Right.
It fills a void that has been left by other companies, and they want to see it, and they keep rewatching it over and over again. It's a household name, but it doesn't get the recognition it
Exactly,
deserves.
and it wasn't promoted. Now, it was nominated for many awards, and I'm going
Yes.
to tell you the ones it nominated and won. British Academy Film Awards, it won for Best Animated Film. It was actually nominated for an Academy Award.
Really? It deserved the
The
nomination.
Alliance of Women for Film and Journalists gave it awards for Best Animated Feature, Best Character Animation in a Feature Film. The Annie Awards gave it the same awards, plus Best Character Design in a Feature Film, Best Directing in a Feature Film, Best Production Design in a Feature Film,
Wow.
Best Storyboarding in a Feature Film, Best Editorial in a Feature
Wow,
Film.
all the details.
It also was nominated and won with the Corino Awards. They won for Best Ibero-American Animation Film. That would be Spain, guys. Best Animation Design. And I think this is another indication that there was underplay at hand. How do you win all these awards? How do you get nominated even for an Oscar? And nobody knows about you.
Right. And
Nobody goes
it's
to
crazy.
watch. Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy.
So, we're going to tell you quickly about the cast because the cast was fantastic. But there also was a soundtrack. Invisible by Zara Larsson and How You Like Me Now by The Heavy are featured on the film. And the song High Hopes by Panic at the Disco is featured in the trailer. So they had some really good songs. They all weren't century appropriate. But
Right.
somehow, some way, these songs worked.
Oh yes, and one of the part where just was trying to be gangster and they played that
Yes!
music and we were laughing so hard because it just felt like you just told the kid he's naughty and somebody act like that was a win for
Yes.
him.
So you had Jason Schwartzman as Jesper Johnson.
Mhm.
Oh, actually Jesper Johansson, forgive me.
Oh, okay.
And as we mentioned, he was a postman who befriends Klaus and helps the town turn to a whole different life.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons was Klaus.
Yes.
And the drill
he's great.
sergeant, uncredited.
No, that was actually great casting because now he's one of the newer
Yes.
Santa Claus
Including
voices
in
now.
Red One when
Yes,
he plays
when-
Santa.
Sure is.
Rashida Jones as Alva, a teacher turned a fishmonger
Yes, which was
who
hilarious.
Jesper falls for.
Yeah.
Will Sasso is Mr. Akse Ellenbow, and he's the patriarch of that clan. He's one of the two families having the feud with the Crumbs. Nada Marguerite Laba as Maru. She's a young Sami girl who becomes well acquainted with Jesper.
Right.
She can't speak English or
Right.
whatever language they're speaking
Yeah,
in the
they're
movie.
speaking Sami
But she is
accent.
so cute and she is so adorable, and somehow they end up communicating with her, and you just love her in this
Right.
movie.
Yes.
You have Sergio Pablis, yes, who appears as Olaf Crumb. and Magdalene Pumpkin Ellenhouse. So he's one of each of the sides fighting.
Right.
Norm Macdonald as Mogans, and he's a sarcastic ferryman. He's fantastic.
Yes.
Joan Cusack is Mrs. Tammy Crumb, and she is one of the most bitter people in here and conniving. And oh my gosh, but Joan Cusack is fantastic in this role.
Yes.
And you remember she did Jessie in Toy Story.
Yes, all former Disney
Yes.
actress too.
Rolf Alexanderson and Sarah Marguerite Oxide as the adult Sami voices, including Margot's parents. Sam McMurray as the Postmaster General, uncredited, Jesper's father, and the headmaster of the Royal Postal Academy.
Okay.
And then you had additional children voices that were provided. There's like a whole bunch of them. I'm not going to go through them. There's about 35 names here.
Ah,
So
actual
all
kids.
the children were children.
Yes, which makes it even better.
And a few more additional adult voices were Catherine Cavadini,
Oh.
Daniel Krug, Brian Finney, Stephen Hughes, Neil Kaplan,
Oh, cool. Zarkon.
Dwight Schultz, which we recognize,
Yes.
and Travis Willingham.
And what's great is that there wasn't such a fixation on the celebrity cast.
Right.
Because that's what Disney and many other studios love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Bank on the celebrities that are in the movie to carry it and get people to watch rather
Mm-hmm.
than the story itself and the celebrities being a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't more like, oh, it's this holiday movie starring these A-list actors. It was a holiday movie starring some actors. And then, yes, they're famous, but they didn't make any sort of spotlight on it. They were just part of the cast and treated like anything else, just like with the kids and just with the VAs. And I love that they did that. It weren't just hyping up the cast to support the movie.
Absolutely. This movie is something you should definitely see. If you have seen it, let us know in the comments. Did you see it when it originally premiered like we did? Or did you see it years later through word of mouth or even through watching our old podcast?
Right.
And if you have seen it, let us know what you love about it, or was it something for you that you thought was just okay and you don't see it as a classic?
Right.
If you haven't seen it, again, it's available exclusively on Netflix to stream.
Yes.
Go there, watch it, come back and tell us what you think, and you're welcome. Again, you should devote some time to go and watch this movie.
Yes.
Because you are really, really missing out.
Yes.
We can't tell you how much you're missing out on having a beautiful movie to add
Yes.
to your holiday viewing each year.
Yes. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates, weekly videos for your anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you so much, specials. As always, you are our specials.
Thank you so much for watching Mask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.